What's going on? Boys, thanks to our patrons and Fiverr customers, subscribe to our Patreon free for behind the scenes stuff. Arm yourselves, life stuff. We have an actual topic today. Maybe a few topics. The primary topic is why hiding in the middle of nowhere won't save you. Now, we're discussing this today because we've had recent reason to review it, but this is a trend I've noticed over the last 6 years of speaking with people about their fantasy endgame. Usually, it boils down to getting away from everything and everyone, escaping. And some people might actually be able to pull that off, at least temporarily. Because, in my opinion, the real way to pull off the escape plan route is not to gather up a bunch of resources so you can sustain yourself out in the middle of nowhere, but rather to learn to live off the land and then become a wild animal, basically. But even if you managed to do that, it still wouldn't be completely safe. Even though your profile is low, your shit to take level is low, because it doesn't change the nature of the issue. And the issue is human nature. But let's zoom out for a second. If this all is a fight, then you, as a human, have already lost. Because it doesn't matter what you do, what you accrue, or how powerful you become. You are still nothing against existence, and existence is what you are fighting, or you believe you are running from or can run from. Anything you are or become, any heights you ascend to, you've achieved these things, or you are these things, only because existence has permitted you to. And I think the illusion of power, the illusion of security, exists so when reality finally decides to knock over a person who feels powerful, confident in their own power over existence, or in their security, they feel secure, protected from existence, it is all the more satisfying. Because existence itself is sadistic in the true sadism way we will get to. And this is another thing I've noticed. No matter how far you run, you'll notice whatever you're running from, it's like physics is bending reality and it is approaching you rapidly without actually moving, making it seem as if you hadn't run all this way and now this thing is upon you. Or if you're security minded the way I am, you build up your security and you start to feel a little safe, and maybe before one of these events happens, you'll look and you'll notice it's like your securities are evaporating. You are never safe from existence, but always existence is eroding the soil you built up underneath you. So if you have some great problem or some great fear, whatever you decide to do to deal with it, it is never over. There is never an end point. If you think you can run from reality, then you'll spend your entire life running. If you think you can fight reality, you'll spend your entire life fighting reality. If ever you think you've reached an end point in which you can finally be comfortable, you'll find reality has evaporated the bridge behind you and backed you into a corner, and now you can't run. Which, if you look at it that way, it all feels totally pointless, because we are all, at all times, powerless against reality. But this is why I think it's a game. If reality didn't want you to exist, then you wouldn't be permitted to exist. This is a sadism game. Life wants you to struggle. I think the safest you'll ever be from reality is when you are putting on a good show for it. Which means kicking up a big fuss. If you're running, you're always running. If you're fighting, you're always fighting. Because if you cease to move or you cease to fight, especially if you think you're safe, the best way to extract entertainment from you is to rip your delusions away from you. You don't sell a golden goose as long as it's producing. But the moment the golden goose stops producing, then you slaughter it to get value out of it a different way. Life likes when you squirm. And this is one of those videos. Putting each point in order is difficult. We jumped close to the end here. Maybe side tangent. Maybe that's why I'm into size so much. You are ritualizing submission to reality in as positive a way as you can. Anyway, back to human nature. Or actually, maybe we'll roll sadism into this at the same time. There is a big difference between sex sadists or power play sadists and true sadists. True sadists are people who like causing suffering in any way they can. And it's fascinating because it feels like sex sadism is this decoy. Because when you're dealing with a true sadist, you probably won't realize it. True sadists, the most potent sadists, feel like just a little whiff of smoke in the air. You can maybe detect them a little bit, and maybe you'll suspect a little bit, but you'll probably never know, and if you do know, then you'll know after. After it's too late for you to do anything, which is something else I'm finding they like a lot. And I think there are more true sadists out there than you realize, one. I think true sadists tend to be able to get into power positions easier because of their nature, two. And most humans have an aspect of true sadism in them, whether they will admit it or not. 3. And if we're thinking of this as the Matrix, these are like Agent Smiths. That one scene with the woman in the red dress and anyone in the Matrix can be Agent Smith, or an agent. That scene feels more and more important as time goes on. Anybody could be an agent. These sadists aren't archons, but they are agents. And there are a lot of them. And even if someone you're dealing with isn't for certain a pure agent right now, they could be. They could be taken, used, and then released. But my point about human nature is humans are defined by greed and the joy they take in violence. So let's say you go deep into a take the money and run scheme to try to escape from reality. By merit of your having something worth taking, people will be looking for you. And they might not realize they are looking for you, but they will be. And once they're aware of you, they will know you're the one they were looking for. Anything you have worth taking, we talk about it semi-frequently, but the Caves of Quud, the glimmer thing with the, if you develop enough glimmer, then agents from other dimensions will enter your dimension with a completely separate endgame, one that you can't really win. They are here to kill you, and they will kill you. The higher your glimmer is, the more likely it is agents like these will come looking for you, even if they don't realize that's what they're doing. And that comes with a mixture of having stuff worth taking raises your glimmer, and also being someone worth fucking with also raises your glimmer. Think of it like, really think of this like a game. Or think of it like real life. If you're a sadist, is killing ants going to satisfy you? Maybe, but not forever. You want to hurt someone who has the capacity to hurt bad. Meaning, if you're someone with the capacity to develop enough shit in the first place to try to run, who's willing to take those first steps on that path, because everybody will talk about wanting a cabin in the middle of the woods, but most people will never do anything about it. If you're someone who can, maybe has, then you are a prime torture target. Your existence alone makes you a target. Having the resources to pay for a good illusion of safety makes you a bigger target, and then actually believing in your illusion of safety makes you the biggest target possible. But let's say none of that is the case. Let's say you do go the survivor man route. That might keep you safe longer, but you're never safe. And I reiterate, if you are someone who would pursue something like this, then you're still a target. And if you're still a target, and God forbid, if you feel safe for a second, the sights are locked on. I don't know how or when it'll happen, but it will happen. And the other thing is, there's no reasoning with these people. I have come to love the scorpion and frog story. Humans are not rational beings. It doesn't matter if you have nothing to take. It doesn't matter if leaving you alone would be easier for someone, or if attacking you would doom them even. None of that matters. People will still find you out in the middle of nowhere and try to hurt you, because that is just what people do. And I don't understand how people don't know this. If your goal is to feel safe, or to try to feel safe, or to try to feel happy, then your best bet is to accept reality and people the way they are, so you can plan around them as they are, instead of covering your eyes and ears and hoping. That can work for a while, but it won't work forever. And if you're a fruit, you are making yourself the juiciest, most pickable fruit possible. Because people love nothing more, life loves nothing more, than catching you with your pants down, knowing you could have done something and you didn't, and now you can't, and they have you. My opinion is to go in the security direction or the power direction, not because it makes you safe, but instead because it makes you safer, and it makes you safer for a few reasons. One, your mind never wanders from the fact you are playing in the sadism games, and you are one of the targets. It's harder for you to let yourself get comfortable. You still will get comfortable, and you still will be made to pay for it, but you're less likely to get snatched up like a surprised kitten. And I think that maybe takes some of the juiciness out of it, but even then they will find a way to catch you like that. It's a matter of squirming nice and good and putting on a show this way. You're also more likely to be able to react when your doors do get kicked in, at least a little bit, which maybe that's one of the only little pleasures you'll get to have in your life, feeling like you could do something, even though you can't. But I think the real reason going the combative or security-focused approach, the reason it makes you safer, is you participate in the sadism somewhat. Instead of living strictly as an extracted, which is what society teaches you to be, by the way. That's what common values teach you. That's what media and all these stories teach you. They teach you to be a, quotes, good person, which really equals better to be extracted better to be tortured, less likely to resist, more likely to feel safe, more likely to believe in something so that belief can be taken from you. And you instead become, even if in a small way, an extractor. And you'll never be able to match true extractors. But again, it's all about your ability to put on a good show, your ability to lay golden eggs. And also with running, you have a destination in mind. And if you ever get close to your destination, you think you've made it. Whereas with security, with the combativeness, when you know you are in conflict with existence, there may be slowdowns, but there's never a true stop. And there will never be a true stop, because nothing will ever be enough. And this is, I think, its own little form of self-torture, making the show better. But anytime you feel like you've found an answer, or you know of an answer, or you truly believe in a way to get out of this, you're asking for trouble. And most people won't believe that because it's uncomfortable to believe. But what I think my role is in this, it's to plant this seed of awareness to let you know what's going on, so you will make a decision not to do anything about it. So when your time comes, you'll feel that much worse. And it's the weirdest thing. Getting your doors kicked in, metaphorically or literally, it's a hard thing to track. Because, well, I think that's part of it. You're supposed to feel like it can't happen to you. Like it'll never happen to you. And every day it doesn't happen to you. Every day you are not royally fucked up your ass by reality. You feel a little more certain in your belief that you are invincible, or that there is a rhyme and a reason to things other than suffering, that there is some kind of a way out. So, when your time comes to get picked and eaten, it hurts that much worse. And when I say hurt, I don't mean looking down in disappointment or kicking the dirt or something or losing a big game. I mean screaming, getting your clothes torn off, getting trapped or trafficked or something. The worst things that can happen to you. Those are the things that will happen to you. The mind-breaky shit. That's one of my biggest fears. Why? Because it's so easy to fall into that trap. You think you... This is a specific example, but you think you're safe from being sex trafficked. And that's why it'll happen to you, because you let your guard down. That's the way your opponent plays the sadism game. The remotest possibility, the impossibility even, the total irrationality, that is the thing that will happen to you. The thing you feel safest from. That's how they'll get you. And I just had on a scale of 10, 3 or 4 deja vu hit there. You aren't playing a winning game. You are playing a game you can maybe lose less if you get very good at it. But there's never a situation in which you don't lose. Intentionally. Consciously. Assaulted. Tortured by existence. You think it won't happen to you. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't.